Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is your source for time and labor-saving farm tools, such as the Paper Pot Transplanter, Quick Click Seeder, and the Jang Direct Seeder. Turn laborsome tasks into free time with tools by Modern Grower. One question I've gotten a lot, and I think you're the perfect person to answer this, is around hiring. And I've talked to a lot of people from this week. They're at the stage of, hey, I've grown the farm as big as I can get it or we can get it, themselves and a partner. They're capped in terms of the labor either that they can put into it or that they're willing to put into it themselves. Their bandwidth exceeded. And they're saying, okay, I have two options. I can remain the same size, try and get more efficient, try and get more profitable, and let's assume their bills are paid. Or I can look to hire people, grow the farm, and then work on that efficiency side. How would you advise people to make, do I hire or not decisions? Because that's a scary step for a lot of people.
Yep, it's a really scary step. So I think there's lots of things to think about. There's all kinds of money numbers involved about, are you really making enough to keep you doing what you're doing right now? But you said, yes, they're paying their bills. So what are their economic goals? What is their physical condition? What status is your body in? Are you going to be able to do this work for how long? Until it's uncomfortable and it hurts too much, or you just can't do it anymore. Because farming, most of it is pretty physically can be taxing. So that would be projecting how long could you just stay yourself doing it the way you're doing it right now, from both the financial and the physical angle. And then the question really becomes, is it exciting to you to have more people engaged in your business? Is that something that you would like to grow as a person into being a provider of income? I think of it as being a very honorable position to be in, to be a job provider, to provide someone with wages. That's a really important part of how society works. And so I take it as a real honor to be able to do that. And it comes with a lot of responsibility. And so thinking about that, yes, it should scare you, but it should also excite you. And if it only scares you and you don't feel that little bit of a happy heart palpitation about, this is going to be cool, this sounds like fun, and then it doesn't sound like it's going to work for you, because this business is too hard not to have fun on a regular basis. And so for me, the idea of farming by myself is miserable. I would be miserable without comrades. I love having people around and being like, high five when you do something so good. We just did such a great job out there. Woo! That makes my day. Me by myself accomplishing something, that's nice. But there's nobody to celebrate with. I love the camaraderie of joint accomplishment and problem solving. So it really comes down to temperament. What's your personality type, I think, is really important.
I think you're right. I think that's a good answer. Recently, I wrote about the negativity bias. People focus on negative over positive. I think hiring has a similar bias. I think people have a cost bias. I think when people hire, they are considering hiring. They focus on, how much is that person going to cost? Right. How much of a hassle is it going to be? All the management, all the paperwork. Instead of looking at what any business of scale looks at, is we hire people to add value. Yeah. And ideally, we're hiring people to add more value than it costs us for them. It's just like any farmer, if they just go the other way, you're selling radishes for more than you can grow them for.
Yes, exactly.
So if you're going to hire, you should expect to get more out of that person then you're paying them. And yet people are like, they don't think that. They fixate on the smaller side. I think a lot of it goes back to
Yep.
inexperience running a business, and maybe just like what you were saying, non-familiarity with all the numbers. How would you help somebody reconcile this? I need them to hire them, but man, look at all the work, the cost. Help me, Ellen.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe this isn't true. I found for myself that having people depend on you as a manager to set the course of the day, to sort through priorities, to check that systems are in place, it makes me more productive in and of itself. It's like it keeps me on task. I can't wander off into the bushes and get distracted by something else. And so I think that's undervalued completely. And it's kind of like when you have a kid and you're trying to farm. I didn't believe in mixing children and business. For me, I would needed a babysitter. But golly, when I'm paying somebody to watch my kid, you better watch me fly through my farming, because like at 4 o'clock, I got to go and that's it. Then I'm a mom. Like having people on the team showing up and their faces are right there. It's woo, I got to get my stuff together, be ready. So it's just a serious jump in professionalism comes with hiring. It's a serious step and it should be considered deeply. And just think of all the things that if somebody can take this portion of jobs off of your plate, what is now possible for you to do as the person with the most experience, the most drive, and the most ideas about what the business should be doing next. It gives you the freedom for you to really develop your farm organism, let's just say.
I
So
think
you're
that
not
part's huge.
stuck down pulling weeds or washing the carrots or whatever it is. I like doing all the things, but you only have so much time. And I love having people around. That's just me. Not customers. I don't love having customers on the farm. I love having workers on the farm. That I love.
If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.